following is a production of the Department of Broadcasting and Journalism at Western Illinois University.
Election Day is less than 3 weeks away. See what two candidates running for governor had to say in their final debate.
Plus, alumni are commemorating their time as students at Western Illinois University. Find out how later in the show.
And if you woke up with frost on your car this morning, we'll tell you how many more days you'll need your ice scraper, coming up in your Storm Team 3 weather forecast.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. News 3 starts now.
We begin with continuing coverage of the state's governor's race. The time for Election Day is ticking down, and candidates running for Illinois governor are making their last pitch to voters. Incumbent Governor Bruce Rauner and challenger J.B. Pritzker battle out their positions in a heated debate before the election.
And you know what? If you're going to interrupt, be careful about the perjury, Mr. Pritzker.
It was the last and only downstate debate for Illinois governor held in Quincy, Illinois. The criminal investigation accusing Governor Rauner's administration of being responsible for the Legionnaires' outbreak was first brought up. Rauner says he stands by his immediate response, calling it a political stunt.
So-called criminal investigation is a political ploy to divert attention from the tax fraud.
6 days went by, and as a result, people got sick and someone died, and then over the course of 3 years, the neglect.
Rauner continued to turn the attention on Pritzker.
Mr. Pritzker was determined to have committed a scheme to defraud the taxpayers of Illinois.
Look, Governor Rauner tried to blame this on Senator Tammy Duckworth. He tried to blame it on the weather.
Pritzker did not make any promises on his proposed fair tax system. Rauner said it's not what Illinois needs.
Look, here's the point of a fair tax system. The point of it is that we want to lower property taxes across the state, pay for our schools differently, because that's causing a lot of the property tax increases that people are feeling.
Mr. Pritzker won't answer this question because he knows the answer is the middle class is going to get crushed.
After a discussion on agriculture, education took center stage.
Because the governor has cut funding for higher education by 20% and proposed another 30%.
We have a funding formula that my team led on a bipartisan basis that got more money for rural districts, small districts, and low-income districts.
Also discussed was infrastructure, gun violence, and business growth. The last topic of the debate focused on minimum wage. Both sides agreed it needs to be raised.
Years recommended an increase in the minimum wage tied to reforms that help businesses be able to pay it. Property tax relief, workers' reform, comp reform, and regulatory relief.
I want to gradually raise the minimum wage to a living wage, to $15.
Now, the other two candidates in the governor's race were interviewed prior to the debate. Election Day is November 6th.
Two people are facing charges after being arrested in Macomb. Chandler Williams and Joshua Easley, both of Astoria, Illinois, were arrested after a McDonough County deputy made contact with them in the parking lot near McDonald's on Saturday. The sheriff's office says the deputy found Easley in possession of 75 hydrocodone pills and 36 oxycodone pills. Both suspects were also charged with possession of meth and associated drug paraphernalia. Both remain in McDonough County Jail.
Leaving your mark on campus just got a little easier.
That's right. News 3's Emily Stern explains how the new alumni plaza at Western Illinois University lets you add a personalized touch after graduation.
When you walk outside of the University Union, you think it's just a brick walkway. However, the newly renovated area is now a way for alumni to stay connected to WIU. More than 500 donors over the summer purchased bricks inscribed with their names and personal messages for the Alumni Plaza.
It was heartwarming to see the different messages that came through for, people's experiences here at Western.
The project began with Director of Residential Facilities, Joe Roselieb.
So this was a cost-affordable way for alum and for students and for everybody else in between to sort of leave their mark and to leave their name and legacy, what we call the legacy, on campus.
Roselieb says a special addition will be added to the Alumni Plaza, the Mascot Memorial. It will feature a statue of Rocky along with a plaque commemorating all the dogs that have served as WIU's live mascot. There is still room for more alumni to leave their mark on campus. Donors can purchase a brick by next summer. Reporting for News 3, I'm Emily Stern.
All right, the unveiling of the completed project is set for next year's homecoming.
The Mega Millions jackpot has reached a record high. Tuesday's night's drawing is the largest game in history at $667 million. That also makes it the fourth largest in U.S. lottery jackpot history. The previous record-breaking Mega Millions jackpot was $656 million, shared by winners from Kansas, Illinois, and Maryland in 2012. The drawing is at 10 p.m. tonight.
Yeah, Devin, I might have to go out and get a ticket myself. I heard that. With October being Breast Cancer Awareness Month, WIU is hosting their annual volleyball event to raise funds to fight against breast cancer. Big Pink Volleyball has started at WIU in the Recreation Center. The tournament runs until Thursday, October 19th, and games are played from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. Volunteers can participate in 3 ways: by registering a team, buying a t-shirt, or making a donation. This year's proceeds will benefit the Women's Center at the McDonough District Hospital.
A zombie takeover is headed for our area this weekend. The Macomb Park District will host the Zombie Apocalypse. There will be an eventful weekend for the town's ghosts and goblins. A costume contest on Friday for all age groups will begin at 6:30 p.m., but registration begins at 6. Along with that is a free screening of Hotel Transylvania at 7 p.m. On Saturday, Macomb residents can enjoy laser tag and an escape room starting at 3 p.m. The prices for these events are on your screen. 72 spots are available for the escape room, and pre-registration will reserve your spot. Those who are trapped will have 30 minutes to guide their submarine to safety. These events will take place at 254 South Collins Avenue.
We're officially halfway into Halloween, and the residence halls at Western Illinois are promoting safe trick-or-treating and haunted houses. On October 30th, Western Illinois invites children ages 2 to 12 to the residence halls for games and Halloween activities. In Corbin-Olson Residence Hall, children will be able to practice safe trick-or-treating. There will be games like toilet paper mummy wrapping and a candy toss. In Link Washington Rhodey Halls, there will be a face painting, coloring, and a cakewalk. In Tanner Circle, there will be games and candy. And in Thompson Hall, 2 floors will be designated for trick-or-treating, and in the electronic classroom, games will be played, and there will be a crystal ball reader.
Hey, if you get that Mega Millions ticket, make sure you share that with all of us.
Oh yeah, I'll try to, Devin. I'll make sure that's my priority.
Well, coming up next in 2 minutes here on Live at 4.
A rare illness with a no known cure is causing paralysis in children across the country, and right now hit in Illinois. What parents need to know? Next.
National Broadcasting Society helps the future of broadcasting get the tools needed to succeed in an ever-growing media world. At Western Illinois University, the professional connections students bring to our chapter of NBS have opened doors to networking possibilities that students otherwise wouldn't have. The opportunities we are given as students at WIU allow us to make connections today for success tomorrow.
They gave me Vicodin after my knee surgery. They kept prescribing it, so I kept taking it. I didn't know it would be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
I chose Western Illinois University because I could get involved right away. You're going to gain experience. I'm going to be able to just become successful right out the gate. I'll be a news reporter and eventually become a news anchor one day. I've always felt that as a strong speaker, I could be a voice for the voiceless, but as long as I continue to believe in myself, work hard, and show that I want to put my best foot forward, I think that anything is possible.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. Live at 4 continues.
A rare polio-like disease that causes psoriasis is affecting children in 22 states across the U.S., including here in Illinois. State officials are reporting the 10th suspected case of acute flaccid myelitis. The cases have all been found in northern Illinois. The Illinois Department of Public Health says AFM affects a person's nervous system, specifically the spinal cord. More than 90% of cases are in patients 18 or younger with an average age of 4 years old. The CDC says AFM could have several possible causes that can be environmental, genetic, or viral. The underlying cause for AFM has not been identified. Symptoms onset can include the limb weakness and loss of muscle tone and reflexes, facial drop and weakness, difficulty moving the eyes, dropping eyelids, or difficulty with swallowing or slurred speech. The Department of Health says if you or your child develops any of these symptoms, you should seek medical attention right away.
Sticking with health coverage, the flu and pregnancy is a bad mix. About 80% of pregnancies occur during the flu season, according to the CDC. Pregnant women who are skeptical about getting a flu shot should not worry. Kim Hutcherson reports the benefits of the vaccine during pregnancy in today's Health Minute.
The flu vaccine reduces a pregnant woman's risk of hospitalization due to influenza by an average of 40%, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The CDC analyzed data from more than 2 million pregnant women over 6 flu seasons and found that a flu shot significantly reduces a pregnant woman's chance of hospitalization for a flu-related illness. Among the key findings, more than 80% of pregnancies overlap with flu season. The flu vaccine was equally protective for pregnant women during all 3 trimesters, even with underlying medical problems like asthma or diabetes. Health authorities say pregnant women can get vaccinated at any time during their pregnancy. The CDC says an estimated 80,000 Americans died of flu and its complications last winter, making it the deadliest season in more than 4 decades. For today's Health Minute, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
If you're interested in receiving a flu shot, you can contact the WIU Butte Health Center. The health center will be holding a flu clinic giving out shots at the Union Concourse on Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
A young woman whose parents were murdered in their Wisconsin home has been spotted over 1,000 miles from the scene of the crime. Police have new information on Jamie Kloss, the 13-year-old who has been missing since early Monday morning. Gunshots had been reported, but Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald did not say the couple had been shot to death. The most recent sighting of Jamie was just last night at a gas station in South Florida. The witness reported to see a girl fitting Kloss's description in a black Ford Explorer. The FBI and National Center for Missing and Exploited Children have come forward saying they have no suspects or leads.
At Sherman Hall, you can march with the likes of victims and survivors of interpersonal assaults. WIU's 29th annual Take Back the Night is next Thursday at 6:30 p.m. The event helps to raise awareness of assaults while seeking for an end to the issue. This year's theme is Consent. Can you hear me now? Performances begin at 7 p.m. before a march to Chandler Park for a survivor speak out. People interested in sharing their story can meet with a counselor at the Counseling Center from 4 to 5 p.m. next Tuesday or 5 to 6 p.m. next Wednesday in the Women's Center Lounge. For more information about the event, call the Women's Center at 309-298-2242.
Today was a bit warmer than yesterday, but will temperatures stay the same throughout the week? Molly Naslin will have your forecast right after the break.
Beautiful. On Tuesday, November 6th, our state will be making some important decisions.
You might think it's not important,
or your vote doesn't matter.
But that's not true.
If you don't know how
or where to register,
visit vote.gov.
Make your voice heard.
Create your success at Western Illinois University. Automatic scholarships and affordable education and more are all yours at Western Illinois University. Apply today at wiu.edu.
Leah, did you put a new dent in that?
This one? No.
Were you texting and driving again?
Yes.
Hi, Leah.
Hi, Dad.
Sorry about your bumper.
I want to be able to stand in front of the camera and tell people the story of what the weather's going to be like that day, or be able to tell people, hey, there's something coming your way, you need to take cover, you need to watch out. And being able to stand in front of a camera and tell not only people who are directly involved but their family members as well, like, this is what's going on. It's been very important to me because, you know, being in those situations where you are relying on the news to tell you what's going on, I like to be a part of that and helping people with that.
Good afternoon and welcome back, Macomb. Again, we are seeing some warmer temperatures, at least compared to what we saw the previous night when we got very close to freezing. That's why we had a little bit of frost on our cars this morning. Very sunny out right now, but unfortunately it is a little bit windy out, with winds out of the west-southwest at 15 miles per hour, but we do have low humidity and a very low dew point, so there's not a huge chance for fog tonight. Looking at our averages, unfortunately, we are just a little bit below average for this time of year. With both our highs and lows, we have had some high records before with 86 for a high. Unfortunately, we're not going to be seeing that in the next couple of days. Right now, we have a high pressure system that starts off to the west and extends all the way into our area. That's why we're seeing these nice sunny skies, not a whole lot of clouds or weather going on. Keep in mind what this high pressure system looks like, because we can see it outlined in the clouds when we take a look at our satellite radar. That's why we don't have any clouds around our area. Both those sets of clouds are just kind of going over us and under us to the north and south. And again, on our radar, there's not a whole lot going on here. Those clouds that you saw down to our south, that is a little bit of rain. But again, up in our area, we're not seeing a whole lot going on. Current temperatures, again, here in Macomb, we're at 58 degrees. There's a couple of warm spots in Burlington and Keokuk. Quincy, unfortunately, you are not quite in the 60-degree mark. However, all of these cities along the Mississippi River are experiencing flooding from that rain that we've had for the past couple of days. Now, tonight we're going to get down into the upper 30s, not quite around freezing, but enough so that you will see that dusting of frost on your cars. Quincy, you'll be a little bit warmer tonight at 40 degrees. Macomb, 37. Beardstown, 39. Tomorrow, not quite as warm as what we were today, with 53 in Macomb, 55 in Beardstown, and 56 in Quincy. Tomorrow night, right around the freezing mark. We're going to start getting a little bit colder. Macomb will be right at that freezing point of 32. Quincy a little bit above that at 36. Beardstown just a hair above 32 at 33 degrees. Now again tonight, clear skies with a low of 37, but look at how high that wind is. Winds will be out of the west at 13 miles per hour. That might not seem like a lot, but it will feel very cold with the lack of clouds. Tomorrow, a high of 53 with plenty of sunshine, no rain whatsoever, despite what that graphic might tell you, but the winds are going to be out of the north now at 12 miles per hour, bringing in that colder weather. For your 5-day forecast, though, plenty of sunshine for the next couple of days until we hit Friday and Saturday. Look at that low on Saturday, 29 degrees, well below freezing. Right. You might want to snuggle up under some blankets, but it's not going to feel very nice outside.
Well, yeah, it looks pretty consistent, though, right?
Our highs are very consistent. Unfortunately, our lows are just going to keep getting colder.
All right, thanks a lot, Molly. So, Connor, I hear that the Leathernecks unfortunately took another loss this weekend against Indiana.
Well, in fact, we have a trifecta of local sports coming up next on Live at 4, a pair of high school football games. BWP looking to keep their playoff hopes alive as they take on South Fulton in a matchup on Friday, and Macomb High was in action against the Richmond Burden Rockets as they looked for the third win on their season.
I started to think about doing broadcasting my freshman year. I started calling some football games for the freshman football team. My high school didn't really have a broadcasting program like some do, and so a lot of my stuff was just PA for different sports, for basketball, for volleyball. And then my mom signed me up for a visit to come to Western on a Discover Western Day. And I walked through the doors of the rec center, and Buzz Hoon shook my hand and said, "Zach Stone, I've seen all your footage, I know who you are, and you belong here." And that's what really makes WIU feel like home.
Disaster tips from the objects left behind.
My home wasn't insured, but you can check your insurance policy now to make sure you're covered. Oh.
My savings are lost, but you can put money aside and plan for unexpected disaster costs.
We're lost forever, but you can scan important documents now so they survive.
For more tips on how to prepare, visit ready.gov.
The first time I met Morris, the door flew open and I got this larger-than-life personality talking at the top of his lungs.
Hey, how you doing today?
Oh man, I totally forgot. Hold on, let me get this for you. Just had a magnetic energy. So I thought, all right, we're definitely gonna be friends.
Drop off a warm meal and get more than you expect. Volunteer at AmericaLet'sDoLunch.org.
America, let's do lunch.
Why I love to do sports anchoring? Because, it's talking about sports. I decided to come to Western because I wanted an experience that wasn't like some other schools. I did color commentary for one volleyball game. I was terrified. I never did any broadcasting in high school, but when I was talking, it was all, staggered, and I had no idea what I was saying. And now I've done so many different games as a color commentator, play-by-play, now sports anchor. Every show and every game, it gets easier and easier, and I get more comfortable doing it. Friday night lights action this past weekend as we have two games to show you here on News 3. Let's take it to Bushnell as the Sparklones hosted the Rebels on South Fulton on Friday. Let's pick it up at halftime as the Sparklones are already up 22-0, and they would continue the onslaught against the Rebels. BWP would add to their lead with Cole Chalmers taking it in for a touchdown, making it 28-0. Chalmers taking it in there. Wes Rhodes was up next for BWP. Rhodes also, what a runner he is. We've seen him numerous times this season, taking it through the defense and a nice long chunk of yards, ending up in the end zone for Wes Rhodes. It was then 36-0 BWP. The Rebels finally got on the board with a TD strike out of the hands of QB Dallas Mallett and into the hands of J.D. Wilson for the score. Will Hensley. You'll see him coming up next. The quarterback for the Sparklones, one of the better players around. Hensley takes it himself, and he takes it into the end zone as BWP would get the victory, 43-12. The Sparklones now at a record of 4-4 as they look to try to get to the playoffs. And 2-3 in conference, by the way. Now moving on to Richmond Burden Rockets traveling to Macomb to take on the Bombers. First drive of the game for the Rockets, and Nicholas Legnaioli takes the handoff for a 72-yard TD run to set the tone for the Rockets. You're going to see that coming up here. What a run it was, taking it on the counter over to the right side, and he would be gone. What speed he had. Nobody could catch him as he continued his way all the way to the end zone. That was one of the more impressive runs that you're going to see all year. The next drive, it was Michael Kaufman this time. Kaufman doing it as well, taking it in for the end zone, 13-0 the score. VJ Lane and the Bombers had a lot of work to do. But VJ Lane here on this drive would look for a receiver. It is picked off by the Rockets, and they would take it all the way in, down to the 6-yard line, as the Rockets continued to look good. Last but not least, Michael Kaufman punching it in again for a touchdown, 52-7. The final. Macomb High falls in a rout of a game. Macomb High now on the year 2-4. Their playoff chances were dwindling, and they have a lot of work to do. But now, with the Western Illinois looking to try to get to the playoffs this season, they had a big test in the form of NDSU and the Bison. Saturday night in Macomb, Western with a big matchup ahead. Western Illinois walking out of the Western Hall towards the field for this big matchup. First night game this season at Hanson Field. Starting it off, it was Pete Swenson with a sack for the Leathernecks as the Leathernecks continue their huddle here. Here we go. I'm sorry about the delay. Swenson coming through and getting in for the sack, taking the quarterback Easton Stick down. Western's defense looks strong early. Kalen Saunders as well with a stop, making it a 3-and-out as Saunders comes in, gets the stop. But then the Bison would get things going. On their very next drive, Cam Peterson, a field goal here as Peterson puts it up and through the uprights. Peterson makes it a 3-0 game. But one of the best catches you will see all year, Sean McGuire looking to the end zone as the Leathernecks look to try to get back into this game, and they would. They'd get the lead here as McGuire finds Zeke LaSure in the end zone for a touchdown. It was 7-3 Western Illinois. Now Easton Stick, he started to do some damage. Lance Dunn here taking it in to the end zone, make it 10-7. Lance Dunn, the running back as he gets that little dance going there. Sean McGuire dropping back, and he is hit from behind. He would cough the football up. It would be picked up by the Bison, and they would take it into the end zone for the score. The Bison win this one 34-7. The final score, Western drops to a record of 2-4 after the loss. They look forward to Saturday against Missouri State on the road. That's sport, but stay tuned to find out why some students in the Department of Agriculture are trying to put on a little extra weight this winter season.
I learned broadcasting for 3 years in high school, so towards my senior year, I was pretty much invested in wanting to pursue a career. And I do enjoy it now, but I'm searching for a way to make sure that it's something that I want to pursue after college. That way, I'll be able to wake up every day and say, this is something I want to do, this is something that I love, this is something that I can teach, I can spread, I can affect people with.
Your girls have been with you through every moment of your life. They were with you when you felt unbreakable, and with you when you had your heart broken. They were with you when you shared your love with the world, and with you when she became your world. They're still with you right now. But how well do you know them?
I was living in a shelter, juggling 3 jobs. I had to be resilient. That's something that you can't teach.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie, nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
For freshmen, one of the biggest concerns when going away to school is the dreaded freshman 15. But for some new faces on campus, packing on the pounds is a good thing.
That's right. The WIU Department of Agriculture has 60 new bulls putting on weight for March's WIU Performance Bull Test. 50 of those 60 bulls will be sold at the test later in the school year. Now, Molly, again, what can you tell us about the upcoming weather?
There are some interesting things coming up, with tomorrow and Thursday being nice and sunny, consistent with our highs in the lower to mid 50s. Those lows are going to start to cool off. They're going to warm up at first. Saturday will be below freezing, but Sunday, plenty of sunshine.
All right, thanks, Molly, and thank you for joining us today.
But we're online all the time.
Stay up to date with us, news3wiu.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Just search your handle, News3WIU. You can also search us on YouTube and subscribe.
Thank you for joining us this evening.
From all of us here at News 3, have a good night, Macomb.